We are just 13 days away from the ICC T20 World Cup 2024 at USA and West Indies. And we're starting off with the first team, that is A for Afghanistan this time around. I have Jehan with me. Jehan, IPL is going on. We have the playoffs starting off very, very soon, but we cannot take our eyes off. It's just 2 weeks and we have the T20 World Cup coming off. How big a platform this is for all the teams.
Definitely. I mean, IPL is always like an audition to many players, and these players always, want to play this at the big stage against top class, world class players and perform well and, get their eyes to the selectors and, potential get them on that plane to US West Indies. So that's exactly what has happened. And, most of the teams I think have announced their squads as well, and we are all set for the main stage. I mean, IPL is just like you can say a fun tournament, but now the serious game starts in 13 days.
Absolutely. The series game starts in 13 days' time. And as I said, we'll start with Afghanistan. Let's take a look into the squad, the 15-man squad for Afghanistan in the T20 World Cup. Here it is, starting with the four top order batsmen we have taken out here. We are starting with the Ibrahim Zadran, Remanullah Gurbaz, I think the wicketkeeper batsman. Azmatullah Omarzai has got a little bit of IPL experience under his belt, and Mohammad Nabi, he doesn't need an experience. If we can talk about the four popular players, apart from the captain, which is Rashid Khan, we'll come into the bowling section later. But how do you look into this? They have played, some of them have played in West Indies as well. Omarzai hasn't played in West Indies. Some of them has a World Cup experience under their belt. So pretty much an experienced top four I can see for Afghanistan.
Definitely. I mean, see, Gurbaz, we know what kind of a destructive opener he can be. He has done well for KKR last season. Also, this season he didn't get a chance, unfortunately, because of wicketkeeper already there in the opening slot in the form of Phil Salt. And I think potentially he will be playing the playoffs today, this match as well as the playoffs game. Yeah, definitely, you cannot count him out at all. And Ibrahim Sadran, these players had a recent home like away series to India. They played against India in India, so that all they showed real potential. I think Ibrahim Sadran also performed quite well, reasonably well. Azmatullah Omarzai was quite impressive with the ball in the IPL we had seen. And yeah, with Mohammad Nabi, we all know what he can do, what experience he brings into the Afghanistan squad. He has captained the side as well, and he played a few games in for the Mumbai Indians too. So yeah,
Absolutely.
you can't
Very
count him
much,
out.
very much. Absolutely, very much summed it up. The four players, very experienced, all of four are there, and they can step up when it's required for Afghanistan. Going to the next four, which is Mohammad Ishaq, a new wicket-keeper batsman they have chosen. Recently, in the T20 series, he has been given opportunities, just played 4 games. Najibullah Zadran, you all know how destructive he is in the middle order. You have a Gulbuddin Naib, recently played a couple of games for the Delhi Capitals as well in the IPL, and we all know he was a former captain of Afghanistan, and Karim Jannat. So you have this potential all-rounders here, a finisher as Najibullah Zadran, and a young wicket-keeper batsman. So the middle order looks sorted, but look into the two experienced players, Gulbuddin Naib and Karim Jannat. You think experience matters for this Afghanistan side once again?
Definitely, you need that kind of experience. As I just mentioned, like you need to have that likes of Mohammad Nabi, Gulbuddin Naib into that playing squad. They have played at international level. They have played Test cricket as well. So they know what kind of play what kind of pressure this has to be dealt with, and so the youngsters also would be keen to learn more from these players. So, yeah, definitely. Kulbadin Naib has
Absolutely.
performed with the bat as well. We had seen him finishing games for Afghanistan. So, that's quite impressive. Need be he might be the one who can promote himself up the order at number 3 or 4 and, play that anchor role and just give them that quick fire 30, 40 odd runs what they need.
Absolutely. He can be that. You always need an anchor in the middle order when it's kind of this side, so many destructive batters. Karim Jannat as well, you rightly mentioned. Going to the next four players, it is Captain Rashid Khan. No introduction of him as always. His partners are Mujibur Rahman as well as Noor Ahmed. We all know how impressive Noor has been lately for the Gujarat Titans, and also a youngster out there. So, what do you look into this spinning attack? Definitely, the first three are definitely playing.
Definitely. I mean, these three, I think, are, I can say, one of very underrated spinners, if you ask me, especially Noor Ahmed. And Mujib also has played a lot of IPL games. He's not played a lot of T20 leagues. So, he would also have that kind of experience. He's still young, learning. And Rashid, we all know what he is. He had a very on and off IPL this year. We didn't see the Rashid Khan, what we expected of him. Like, I had the
Yeah,
potential of
has been a
getting
lot
him.
expensive than we expected.
Definitely. Like, yeah, he did play a few handy knocks with the bat. We know what he can do. But definitely, yes. And Noor Ahmad, what we all know that he is exactly the replica of Rashid Khan. In the exact same action, the exact same bowling style he has, just at the left arm Chinaman. So you can see he's a mirror version of Rashid. So yep, I think Rashid Noor, if they play, I think they can literally mess up the top order or the middle order of any team. I don't think this team will fear anyone because we saw them very fearless in the last World Cup as well in India, which was played in India. So I think we can see a few upsets definitely.
Absolutely, we can see a few upsets, but now when Afghanistan, Ireland, they're playing so good cricket, we shouldn't say it upset. Rather, they deserve it. But Karote has been picked, a young spinner out there. But you had somebody like a K. Samit. Would you rather gone for a K. Samit, or is Karote somebody you can groom him alongside these three champion bowlers?
I think Gay Samad should have been big, but again, you need to have that 15-man squad. I mean, some make it, some don't make it. So it's like some has to sacrifice at some point of time. So I feel if this is a part and parcel of the game, I think, if you see. But here I think they will have to pick the best 11 only, and I think Rashid Noor and Mujib would maybe make the Mujib might not make the cut if they do go with
Correct.
two spinners, and then all round, of course, Nabi will be bowling as well. So here also they will be having to see that who will play. But Rashid, of course, will be the first choice, but definitely it will be between Mujib and Noor.
Okay, it will be between Mujib and Noor, and I think it will be rather Noor ahead of Mujibur Rahman alongside Rashid Khan. We're done with the spinners. These spinners will be very handy, especially in West Indies conditions. And the three pacers out here: Naveen ul Haq, no introduction of him; Fazal Al Faruqi and Farid Ahmed Malik. So what's your take? They have a couple of left-handed seamers as well. Fazal Al Faruqi did not get a game, unfortunately, for Sunrisers Hyderabad. We all know how many talented overseas players they had this season. But Naveen ul Haq, I think he leads the pace attack for sure.
Definitely. Where you need that kind of experience. I mean, when he was a young kid when he came into the squad, and now he's played so many international games. He's become one of their, main key bowlers. Even if he goes for a lot of runs, as his economy is just shown above 8. But then he get you those 2 or 3 wickets, definitely. That is for sure. And that is exactly what your main bowler is needed to do. And then there is always Gulpati Naib also, who is going to be bowling with you, along with you in there. So I think they are pretty much sorted. I think this is a team to watch out for, if you can say.
Okay, team to watch out for, according to you. And Afghanistan, I will not be surprised if they can upset a few teams in this season. We will see what happens. But let's take a look into the fixtures and the schedules, what they will face, where they will face. Let's take a look into that. Here it is, the four. They are in one group, and here are the four teams they're going to face, starting with the Uganda and then going to New Zealand, both times in West Indies. And rather, all the four games are in West Indies. That's surprise, but advantage to Afghanistan. They will love this condition. Uganda, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, and the hosts, West Indies. So it's a very funky group, but they can fancy themselves. I think Afghanistan against these opponents.
Definitely. See, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what the good part about this is that Afghanistan have already beaten the West Indies, a couple of times, and I really don't think Papua New Guinea or Guyana, like I think which one is this Namibia, right?
Uganda.
Uganda. I think that wouldn't be a major problem to them. So you might or might not see an upset, but again, they are Afghanistan have a good team. They can even topple New Zealand at this stage. Definitely, because New Zealand also have an on and off form. Their players are being shuffled quite a lot in the recent Pakistan series. Also, they took their B a C team, and the main players are playing the IPL. But obviously, you cannot rule them out. But Afghanistan are in for a fight. Definitely, that is for sure.
Yeah, and even if you look into the gaps they have, their 4 day or a 6 day gap in between. So they have the right time and they'll be in the same country. That's a very good advantage for Afghanistan to fancy themselves. And you said they can potentially target New Zealand as well. That's surprised, but I will not be surprised if they can get over the line against the mighty New Zealanders as well. We're done with the fixtures and venues. Let's take a look into the history for Afghanistan over the past 3 years of the T20 World Cup. Here are 3 years they have played. Last in 2022, they made it to the Super 12s. 2021 as well, they made it to the Super 12s in the UAE. And 2016, they made it to the Super 10s. So they have not yet made it to the quarters or the semis. Do you think this year is a potential time for them to make it to the further up the stage?
See, if you see, they are going upwards. They're try beating every team in the 2019 50 World Cup. Also, they had lost all the games. 23 they came out and they won 3-4 games, and they have beaten Pakistan. They gave good fight to India as well. So that is a very
They
big plus
defeated the
point.
mighty England.
Absolutely. 2016, I think 2016 they beat the mighty West Indies. They were the champions after all later on. But it takes guts to beat such a quality team, and they will be looking to up their stage. Maybe you never know when they qualify into the next round, and they might end up beating Australia. They might end up beating a bigger team maybe the likes of South Africa as well. You cannot count this team out at all.
Absolutely. You cannot count this team out at all, says Jehan, and I can absolutely agree with what he says. He says this team is upgrading and they can potentially make it to the quarters if they play really good in the group stages. We're done with the history. Let's take a look into the top five players to watch out for Afghanistan. So, Jian, here are the five players I have chosen. Rehmanullah Gurbaz, Azmatullah Omarzai, Mohammad Nabi, Rashid Khan, and Naveen Ullah are the five players I have chosen. Any other player you want to take it out? Otherwise, these are the five set ones you would have chosen as well.
I mean, top five one. If I would have taken one from my side, it would have surely been Gulbadin Naib because, as I just mentioned, he has started playing well with that bat. Also, he can get you those runs, and of course, he can get you wickets as well. You know what kind of an experience he brings in, and again, with the likes of Noor Ahmad, and that guy can produce magic with the ball. He can open the bowling as well if you need, and he can just slow down the run rate of the opposition. So I can. These two are my picks definitely to watch out for.
Okay, you have made your picks out of these five, and Gulbadim Naib you are wanting as well. So his choices are definitely made, and I really really agree with you because so many experienced, talented players are there in the Afghanistan side, so they can make it a formidable playing 11. We'll come to the 11, but who are the leaders for them? They have a coach, they have a captain, they have a vice captain. Let's take a look at the leaders for Afghanistan. Okay, so the captain for the Afghanistan side is Rashid Khan this season for the T20 format. Ibrahim Zadnan is the vice captain, and Jonathan Trott, what a fantastic job he's doing as the head coach for Afghanistan, has changed the dynamics of the game. You remember the time he used to play Test cricket for England, definitely.
Um, I just was about to mention that he was a nightmare for Indian bowlers definitely when it came to Test cricket,
And
and I really
especially at the
really
Wankhede Stadium.
absolutely complete nightmare. I mean, I've witnessed him live. That was I don't know if you call it unfortunate or fortunate, but no, but he used to play like a proper Test cricketer, and when to defend balls. He went to accelerate. Get that team to a very good total.
Correct.
In the Jonathan Trot, he used to fill that number three, number four slot, and he was a part-time medium pacer also, so he used to roll over his arm as well. So I think he has a very good mindset, and unfortunately, he had some like serious mental illness. So I think which dragged him out of the playing squad, and then later on, but the way he came back into the coaching department, and he transformed this Afghanistan team, and he is brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. It's obviously these guys should be privileged enough to play under such an experienced coach.
Absolutely, and what a champion cricketer he was. But now he's the head coach alongside Rashid Khan and Ibrahim Zadran. Surprised to see no Mohammad Nabi, no Gulbadim Naib part of the leaders for Rashid Khan. He has led Gujarat Titans as well a few games, so he has that captaincy responsibility in his shoulders. How much do you think he can live up to the expectations?
You know what I have noticed, especially when Rashid used to play for Gujarat Titans, maybe under Hardik or under Shubman Gill, I have always noticed Rashid. He has led by an example. Like whenever he is on the field, definitely he is motivating the youngsters. Going up to them, they're talking to them about what to do. And I remember he used to be in constant, in communication with the bowling coach Ashish Nehra as well as to now what changes do we need. So you need that kind of mindset. You need that kind of understanding of every over of who you want to win, how we want to approach the game. So brilliant. I think Rashid would be a lovely captain definitely. And Mohammad Nabi, I think what I remember, he has already captained the Afghanistan side, and what I feel that the captaincy pressure has gone to him a bit more. I remember under him, his batting used to get hampered a bit. Well, that is what I have felt. And after he gave up on captaincy, he has looked more better. He has looked more lethal.
Correct.
He has, there are many. It is very much understood. And Ibrahim Zadran, we know what kind of a player he is. Definitely destructive, and he has scored centuries as well. So this guy is going to be a big watch out, and maybe this guy could be a potential top three run getter also. That is,
Okay.
don't count this guy out at all.
Okay, he can be potentially top three run scorer in the tournament, says Jian. That's surprise, but don't count this man out. But Rashid Khan, discussed during the squad analysis, that he has not been at the best of the form when it comes to his bowling. But when he's the captain, can you see the best out of these players? Is the captaincy role can improve his skill sets with the bat, with the ball, and we can see the best out of him?
Definitely, I think they don't need to change anything. Maybe they batting order or bowling performances. I don't think they should be hampered. They will stick to their basics. I mean, Rashid, who usually comes at number 8, will stick to that position. And suppose if Afghanistan are railing at 120 or for 6 or 15 on overs, so come, and that is exactly when Rashid is supposed to start his role. And if
Yeah.
he scores 50 odd runs in those 5 overs, that could help them post a good total and then defend. And they have got good decent bowlers also to back him up. So I feel he's got a very good side to lead, and I think, yeah, this as I said, this side will be a major side to watch out for. I mean, teams are not ready to face them yet.
Teams are not ready to face them yet. The conditions might just suit their bowling attack as well. So if they can post a really good total, which Ibrahim Zadran has to lead from the front alongside Rahman Gurbaz, they can be a lethal side. So we're done with the leaders. Let's take a look into the predicted playing 11 of Afghanistan. Here it is, as predicted playing 11 according to me, Jehan. Starting with the top order batsmen, Rahmanullah Gurbaz, Ibrahim Zadran, and Azmatullah Omar Zai. Then going to the middle orders, you have Mohammad Ishaq, Najibullah Zadran, Mohammad Nabi, and Gulbadim Naib. And then to the four bowlers alongside the captain all-rounder, Rashid Khan, Naveenul Haq, Fazal Haq Faruqi, and Noor Ahmed. So unfortunately, no Mujib in my side, as we all predicted. So what's your take? Is it a very, very good 11? Any changes for you? Any batting order strips as well?
No, absolutely not. I think this is the perfect playing 11 I'm looking for. Actually, perfectly balanced side. I mean, they have batting depth as well, and
Yeah.
perfectly everything is balanced. I think you don't need any kind of changes. You have all bowlers left, and you have Nabi and Gulbadin Naib also to fill in those bowling slots. Ibrahim Sadran can bowl his role as if needed at all. Everybody
Yeah.
can bowl. Everybody can bat well. So I think perfectly balanced side, completely balanced.
Perfectly balanced side for a T20 game, and the conditions of West Indies, as I said before, I repeat it again, will definitely suit Afghanistan. We're done with the predicted playing 11 as well. We're done with the squad analysis. What are the predictions? And we have our first guest out here. Jehan is the first guest. He has made his top 4 predictions. Let's have a look into that. So here it is. The 4 teams Jehan has predicted, ladies and gentlemen, is India, Australia, South Africa, and West Indies. Well, Jehan, where are the defending champions? He's knocked out of your predictions. Reasons behind that, please.
Look, I mean, England are going to be coming up definitely, but I feel they will be lacking. They will be, I can say negatives and positives both, because Jofra Archer coming into the squad after a year and a half again, that can be make and break, because now if he gets injured, there would be no proper kind of a replacement. So again, it is going to be a very tough task. I think
So you're
Restockley
saying the
again.
weakness is their bowling?
Definitely. Even if they score 250 runs, in those small grounds, which is 100% going to happen at some point of time, and but their bowling is vulnerable. I mean, I don't see a very impressive, because Moeen Ali also, we know he's a very experienced player all rounder in that squad. But again, he a very faded IPL. He is not yet performed too well for England in the recently in the T20s also, with the bat and ball as well. So I can see a lot of liabilities than people like the players, like obviously the likes of Jaws, but you're missing out Ben Stokes again. You're
Yep.
missing out on Ben Stokes, that experience, that guy who won you that World Cup last time. So yeah, I think it's going to be pretty decent, but I don't see them in the top 4. No.
Okay, you do not see them in the top 4. You see South Africa in the top 4. How lethal can they be in this season?
Oh, definitely. Please do not count that side out at all. Yeah, they are, the so-called bottlers or the chokers, whatever you want to name
You
them.
couldn't
But
say that.
again,
You shouldn't say that because we are ourselves as well.
yeah, definitely. But knowing South Africa, they have never even, I think, reached a World Cup final. So, that is a very big blow to the side. But, knowing they're playing 15 squad, I think they have a very destructive, lineup. I think Aiden Markram, Quinton de Kock is not fired up, but we all know what he can do with the bat.
Absolutely.
And there's going to be, I think, Riza Hendricks will be there in that squad.
Hendricks is there.
Riza
Then will
Hendricks is there. Henrik Klassen will be there.
Klaasen
Henrik
will be
Klassen
there.
will be there. There is going to be a ruckus definitely there
They have
going forward.
Christian
And
Stubbs. They have Marco
we
Janssen.
know what these guys have, taken the ball out of the park in these small grounds,
They
and
showed us
Wankhede.
glimpses in the IPL. they might show a more than a trailer in the World Cup.
And they have a good bowling lineup as well. There is Andre Berger in that reserve squad if needed. There is Marco Janssen, Kakiso Rabada. So these guys have that kind of bowling department as well. Who can perform wonders. They have Keshav Maharaj, like one of the best bowling all
Avrish
rounders in the
Shamsi,
world. Yeah, Everest Shamsi. He was two at number one for a long period of
absolutely.
time. So yeah, I think this side is going to be definitely there in the top four. What according to me.
Definitely they're in the top four. So I'm not discussing about India because it's definitely a no-brainer for there. But West Indies, if what if Sunil Narine was part of the squad? How strong would it have made?
See again that Sunil Narayan would have definitely, made it into that 11 into the opening slot blind up, but again he clarified, and we
Absolutely.
all respect his decision of staying away from the international game, but that leaves the door open. Johnson Charles is there, the old Johnson Charles. We all know what he was a player in that. He was a nightmare, complete nightmare to India in that 2016 semi-final. Yeah,
And I repeat again, once again, Wankhede Stadium.
it was right wrong. It was definitely a Wankede, and again, unfortunately, I was a victim of that. And I remember, I think Bumrah or Ashwin, one of them had bowled a no ball to him and
Hardik
taken his
Pandya and
wicket.
Bumrah.
Yeah, they had taken one of them had taken a no ball, and then unfortunately, I think never mind for that. But there is, Roman Powell, who is a very destructive player, finishing. He can play a finishing role. There's Obed McCoy, I think the left arm pacer, if he's into
Yep.
the squad. Yeah, there's Obed McCoy. You cannot count these
They have
guys out, man.
Romario
Come on.
Shepherd. They have Shimron Hetmaya. Can we finally see Kyle Mayers as well at the top of the order?
Definitely. I think with likes of no Sunil Narayan, I think this guy Kyle Mayers is definitely going to be there in that 11. And we know at home conditions, Kyle Mayers. I still remember his world record 200 against Bangladesh. That record chase they had made
Yeah.
over 400. Yeah, so I think he is a player who can score big. He can score a century or two as well.
Yeah. And in
Definitely, and
special. Yeah.
there is Shea Hope. There is Shea Hope as well in that 15-man squad. So that experience again matters. I don't know if you correct me if I'm wrong. If there is Roston Chase in that 15-man squad,
There is Roston Chase as
there
well,
is
and we don't
Roston
know
Chase.
about
That quality, that proper authentic West Indian off
correct.
spinner. Yeah. So
Correct.
exactly. So
And let's not
they
discuss
we
about Nicholas Puran as well. Let's not discuss about him.
right. No. See, Nicholas Puran, you cannot take him out. Yeah, man. Come on, you cannot just take him out of that 11 when we just it's just a time to forget for us. And I just hope we for teams find a way to get through him, but it will be really difficult. I mean, this team,
Absolutely.
I would say this team would be a team to beat. Trust me, because West Indies in T20 mode, they are something different. And we know last time they unfortunately they couldn't qualify, but this time they would be hungry. They would be wanting to do something because it is home conditions, and they will be the most who will be used to those conditions. They have played the most domestic leagues. They played most test matches, T20 cricket, etc. So they will be hungry for more definitely. And of course, there is this bowler I forgot, Shamar Joseph. Who could
Yeah.
forget that lethal fast bowler and just upcoming star? And I
And
will not rule that guy. That guy can create ruckus to the top order, and definitely he's a good death bowler as well. So yes, I think this team is going to be a team to watch out. I think
we
good
all
team to beat.
discussed we all discussed about most of the West Indian players. We said about Sunil Narayan. We are disappointed he's not part of the 11. But how about his teammate of the Kolkata Knight Riders, Andre Russell, fit and fine? He's also part of the squad, Rian.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, you cannot you to take out Russell. There is Powell. You take out Powell. There is Shepherd. There is Shepherd. There is Nicholas Puran. They are all mighty hitters. They are all mighty hitters. And West Indians are known to be powerful hitters. They are not just normal hitters who can just take it out of they take the ball straight out of the park. And knowing their ground lengths, the USA's grounds, size and all, they are small. And I mean, that will be literally like they are playing in a kindergarten park or something. One they are too powerful. I can literally see more of 250 plus scores coming in definitely this time around.
Okay, so you are saying your things. You have given your top four predictions. Let's see what you have made for the leading wicket taker and the leading run scorers as well. And here are this. There's a no-brainers. You have selected both the Indians, which means that India will definitely make out to the finals. Virat Kohli and Jasprit Bumrah are your leading wicket takers and run scorers. No-brainers, but Virat Kohli, question marks came around his strike rate, but he has answered all his question. My father was saying very recently that at the end of the day, on 9th of June, it's going to be we are all heavy reliance will be on this man, King Kohli, to perform against Pakistan.
See, Virat Kohli in the last 3 to 4 T20 World Cups has been the man of the tournament twice or thrice. He's been the top run scorer in the tournament. You cannot
in any
count out
format.
in any format as well, but I'm specifically talking about the T20 World Cup as well. 2016, you see that man carried the entire team. In 2021, he was off, but still he made those comebacks. He scored that 100 in the Asia Cup against Afghanistan. Then
Correct.
again, 2022, we saw he was the leading run scorer and obviously the player of the series again. So you cannot count this man out at all. You can say that King Kohli, okay, he's not performing, his strike rate is low, he's playing slow, he's just anchoring the innings and all. But no, you see the way he performed again last time around against
Correct.
Pakistan, the way he was hitting out, the way he just carried that innings. And obviously that
Absolutely.
shot of the century, what he hit Harish Rauf
Yeah.
down the ground. I mean, you cannot count this guy out. They were railing at 31 for 4 at one point, and then
Correct.
Hardik and Virat came in and obviously Jasprit Bumrah, he's going to be lethal at any kind of pitches. Give him a rank turner, give him a green pitch, give him a dry pitch, any kind of a pitch. Jasprit Bumrah is here to take wickets, definitely. And
Okay.
definitely, I can see in an off season like IPL, where MI finished last, this guy is second highest wicket taker in the tournament. So you
Yeah.
cannot count this guy out at all.
Absolutely. But you also said about a little bit of Travis said or Virat Kohli. Eventually decided for Virat Kohli. Travis said for Australia has been leader in the IPL. Do you think he will be very close to the top scorer as well for Australia?
I mean, definitely, this guy has created some ruckus with Abhishek Sharma over here, and they have broken some like unbelievable records, like highest
Correct.
score power play, and they've chased down a target of 160. They made a one target of 167 look like I don't know what a mockery of. They made a mockery of that chase. They chased it down in 9 over 9.2 overs. I mean, there's like you can hear at 56 balls, you're chasing down that total of what you usually chase down in 20 overs. So
Correct.
these guys were looking to get to 300. He's already scored 100 at Chinnaswamy. He's already scored two big 80s and 90s. This guy is looking dangerous. Same thing he can carry out definitely in that World Cup. He can carry out that same intent. If he goes out there, scores that 60, 70 runs in 25, 30 odd balls, gives that Australia that start. Australia has that momentum, and even they have that players. They have Mitchma, they have Cam Green, they have Glenn Maxwell, they have all the quality players. So I feel Travis Head will be a man to watch out. Like literally not watch out, but literally you can say go and maybe get that highest run scorer and maybe compete with Virat.
The most destructive player you can say somehow in the
Very
ICC
destructive player.
World Cup
Very destructive player.
2024. You have made your predictions for the leading run scorer and wicket takers. Let's take a look into what you have made for the absolute final, which is who will be the champions of 2024 T20 World Cup. It's a no-brainer, absolutely. When you have Virat Kohli as your leading run scorer and Jasprit Bumrah as your leading wicket taker, it has to be this team, our own country. But Jehan, how much are you hopeful this season to get Rohit Sharma, get the trophy back home to India?
Ah, fingers crossed. Again, you get that hope every time, but you have to always back the team. And this time, I think it's a very good young squad. I mean, good with some changes as well. We are seeing with the likes of Sanju Samson into that squad after like I don't know an eternity. We are seeing him in a T20 World Cup in any ICC tournament as well. Like, we are seeing Yuzvendra Chahal making the cut to that his first ever T20 World Cup. I think he will be playing the first ever T20 World Cup.
He
He
was
was
part
there
of
in
the
the
squad
squad.
last time. Yeah,
He was there on
exactly.
the spot, but he couldn't get a game. So if maybe a few 6 7 years back, if you tell me there will be no UC Chahal in the T20 World Cup, I mean somebody would call you a dumb person, like saying, "What are you talking?" But no, it is what it is. But this time, I think the likes of Kulcha, both Kuldeep Yadav and Yuzvendra Chahal, both into that side. We have the likes of Aksar Patel, Ravindra Jadeja, both we looking good this IPL. I think we both can do. But I think again, there are few misses which we are looking. But I think we should be backing what we rather have and not what we don't have. What is according to
Absolutely.
me. So yeah, Rishabh Pant is back. Fortunately, we love to see him back in Indian colors and especially in such a big tournament. And we know he's had a wonderful turn IPL as well. So that is a big, big, big boost for India, and it will be lovely to see him keep behind the wickets in the blue shade.
Okay, so you were lovely. Do you back him up starting ahead of somebody like Sanju Samson?
Oh, difficult. But yes, I think definitely Rishabh gets that cut. But again, it will be maybe. What I feel is they could be rotations as well. Maybe Rishabh could play a few games, then Sanchu could get games at number two because we know the likes of Surya Kumar. He's injury prone, hasn't much fielded in the IPL. We don't know his fitness levels. Hardik also, he's just come back from a long term injury. He's the vice captain. Of course, his performances also will be looked at very very closely
Absolutely.
because he's had a very off tournament, especially with the ball. I mean, yeah. So let's see. Shivam Dubey is a man to watch out, I think, in that squad. The guy is looking good. He's a big hitter, and yeah, I think it's a good balanced squad, and we should end up crossing the line this time.
Okay, we should end up crossing the line. No more discussions. Let's not be too hopeful. We're always hopeful for this side. We're done with the predictions as well. Let's take a look into the one final thing, which is the quiz. It's time for the trivia quiz. We have one trivia quiz for you, Jehan, for Afghanistan. Here it is, the quiz. Only one question, which is what is the current ICC ranking for Afghanistan in T20 international cricket? Is it 7, 8, 9, or 10?
I think it is 7, if I'm not wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong then.
Okay, one final answer. 7, is it?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Okay, so you're well behind. Is it number 10 in the ranking for the T20 internationals, Afghanistan cricket? At this moment in the ICC rankings, they're in number 10. But that
Oh.
sums it up. Yeah, they're in number 10, Afghanistan. Thank you so much, Jian. That sums up the show. Squad analysis for the Afghanistan cricket team is done and dusted. As Jian said, there will be a team to beat. Very, very strong side. But we will see what happens. Thank you so much, Jian. Thank you to all the viewers who have watched this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fifth Thumb by press the bell icon as well. Till then, thank you so much and bye bye.